Water. Earth. Fire. Air. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. But everything changed when a meteorite fell on the Water Nation. This meteorite disrupted the balance of the world and ushered in an era of glaciations. Only the Avatar, master of all four elements, could stop them. But when the world needed him most, he vanished. Many years later, a young bender named Kaen emerged from the Fire Nation. Although Kaen is a powerful firebender, he still has much to learn to restore the world's balance. But I believe that Kaen can save the world.
Season 2, Episode 6. The Divide of Duty. The sun hung low in the frozen sky, casting long shadows across the barren icy landscape where Avatar Kaen, Master Kenji, and Princess Iara had taken refuge. Their campfire crackled softly, the warmth a stark contrast to the biting cold that surrounded them. Despite the chilling air, Kaen's focus remained unwavering. His training continued without pause, each firebending motion sharp, precise, and full of determination. Master Kenji watched silently, his arms crossed, his stern expression betraying a hint of pride. Suddenly, the sound of hurried footsteps echoed through the stillness. Emerging from the frost-covered horizon was a soldier of the Earth Nation, his armor battered and covered in snow. He approached the group with urgency etched on his face. Bowing deeply to Master Kenji, the soldier's voice was steady but urgent. Master Kenji, I bring grave news from Omashu. King Piendao has fallen gravely ill. His condition is worsening by the day, and he has summoned you to his side. Kenji's brow furrowed deeply. He had been the king's most trusted ally for decades, and the bond they shared went far beyond duty. It was one of brotherhood. But now, with Kaen's training incomplete and the world hanging in the balance, the decision weighed heavily on him. Before Kenji could speak, the soldier continued, his tone growing more grave. There's more. Our scouts report that King Neria of the Water Nation is assembling a massive army. His target is Omashu. The king believes that if the Avatar and the Earth Nation cannot unite, Omashu will fall. Kenji looked to Kaen, his heart torn. His loyalty to Piendao and his duty to guide the Avatar both demanded his attention. The weight of this choice was visible in his eyes. Before he could voice his conflict, Kaen stepped forward, placing a firm hand on Kenji's shoulder. Master Kenji, Kaen said, his voice calm but resolute. You've done so much for me already, but right now Omashu needs you. King Piendao needs you. You must go. Kenji hesitated. Kaen, you are not ready. There is still so much for you to learn. Kaen interrupted, his tone growing more determined. You've taught me enough to stand on my own, master. And I can't do this if the Earth Nation falls. Go to Omashu, rally the troops, protect the king. I will find a way to secure support from the Fire Nation. Kenji studied Kaen for a moment, the boy's resolve shining brighter than the flames he wielded. Slowly, the Earthbender nodded. Very well, but be careful, Kaen. The Fire Nation isn't what it used to be. Queen Azrithia may not be as welcoming as you hope. Kaen gave a faint smile, his confidence masking the uncertainty he felt. Then I'll convince her. For the balance of the world, I'll do whatever it takes. As the Earth Nation soldier led Kenji away, Iara stepped closer to Kaen, her expression a mix of worry and admiration. You're taking on a dangerous mission, she said softly. The Fire Nation's loyalty to the Avatar has always been complicated. Kaen's gaze turned toward the horizon, where the icy plains stretched endlessly. If we don't try, we've already lost. Neria's army grows stronger every day, and we can't afford to wait. Iara nodded, her voice tinged with determination. Then we move at dawn. As the night deepened, Kaen sat by the fire, his thoughts racing. His decision to send Kenji away was a gamble, but one he believed in. If the Earth Nation could rally its forces under Kenji's leadership, and if he could convince Queen Azrithia to join their cause, there was still hope. But the path ahead was fraught with danger. Far away, in the icy halls of the Water Nation Palace, King Neria stood before a vast map of the known world. His generals gathered around him. His eyes gleamed with icy fury as he pointed toward Omashu. "The Earth Nation will crumble under our might," he growled. "And the Avatar will have no place left to hide." As the first light of dawn touched the frostbitten landscape, Kaen and Iara set off toward the Fire Nation, the unknown stretching before them. Kaen's resolve burned brighter than ever, but the stakes had never been higher. The journey to secure balance had only just begun, and the shadows of war loomed ever closer. To be continued.